Hi, thanks for tuning in one more time. I'm Miss Rupp.
I'm Miss Afsa.
I asked a special guest to join us today so that you can get some speech ideas. And this video is to help you parents come up with some ideas to do with your children over the summer to extend their learning. And so I wanted to show you a couple of fun activities that we've been doing at school that your children really enjoyed and would be easy for you to do at home. We have been working on numbers and counting and of course our speech and working together. So this was a super fun activity and fine motor. I just brought out my little egg carton and one of their favorite puppets, which Miss A gave to our classroom this year, is the chicken. They love the chicken. And some Play-Doh. So what we did was first, the chicken has to lay the egg. Bawk, bawk, bawk. Oh, looky here. We've got an egg. So we crack it open. And what number's inside? The number 3. It's backwards for y'all, but it's the number 3. And so then they would take their Play-Doh and they would roll 3 eggs. What shape is that? It's an oval. So now we're working on shapes. So after they roll 3 eggs, they put the 3 eggs in the container. Rolling is very important to build up the muscles and the eye and hand coordination for pre-writing. So doing that one activity gets them, number 1, talking and engaged. Number 2, learning about numbers and one-to-one counting. And then 3, fine motor. So that's a fun little game that all of your children enjoy. Some of the children have problems rolling the Play-Doh. So what you could do is together, the 2 of you could roll the Play-Doh together and put your eggs out and then crack your eggs and see what number's inside. And these, by the way, are just simple plastic eggs that you get in the springtime. And you can just write numbers on pieces of paper, slips of paper to just put inside. Very easy, very simple. Once you've pre-made your eggs, then once you get your number, help them to count. 1, 2, 3. And if that still seems a little bit hard, you can go ahead and put the numbers inside the egg crate. So you can show them the number 3. We need this many. So we have to fill up the 1, the 2, and the 3. Now we have 3. So that's a way you can make it appropriate for all of our learners, no matter where they are in the learning process.
And I was just going to add that eggs are super motivating, and you can use them to build language by putting pictures of items inside an egg. And having kids pull out an egg from a bag. You can put little...
Or the chicken lays it because
they
absolutely love it. They love chickens that lay eggs.
The other thing too is a lot of times you can find little tiny figurines or little miniature items that you can put inside an egg, and it's a very motivating activity for the kids.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next thing I'm going to show you is an I Spy game, and this is a game that my mom used to play with my brother, my sister, and I, but she used a big jar of buttons. So if you have something like that at home, it's great to use to get them to recognize, search out different colors or different quantities. So what I have today to show you are these are counters, and they happen to be fruit. So what I would do is I would hide these all over the room, and then we would play I Spy with my little eye something purple. Maybe your child doesn't yet know what purple is, so you could give them an example. Purple, this color. Let's see if you can find something purple. Again, these are just little swatches that were made on the computer, but you could cut little pieces of paper, take a marker, color it in. Now you've got a sample of what they are to find. And you will kind of know how many you've hidden around the room. So if your child is able to count and is progressing through some learning, you could say, I hid 5 purple things in the room. Go find 5. And again, you could pull out your numbers and use those again. And every time they come back, okay, let's count. Let's see how many you have. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh, we need 5. How many more do you need to go get? Oh, you need to go find 2 more. Keep looking, keep looking. And I think this kept my brother and I occupied for hours while my mom was in the kitchen working. It was a ploy, but we learned a lot. So those are some great activities to do this summer while you're on break and making sure that your kids are continuing their learning of what they learned here at school this year in my classroom.
Another extension of that activity might be just turning the lights off maybe before your bedtime routine and taking a flashlight and going through and doing a scavenger hunt with your child.
Oh, they
and
love
having
flashlights.
Oh, they sure do.
They do.
And naming different items, and you can extend it and talk about, well, what do you do with that item? And what color is it? And just expanding language in a variety of ways. And that flashlight and finding things is very, very motivating.
Yeah, good stuff. This summer, if you only did one thing, I would encourage you to get together your children with other children as natural as possible, because our kids, especially our 3-year-olds going into 4-year-olds, the academics and all of that's great for them to learn, but really what they need to learn is how to play with other children, with their peers, how to have a back and forth conversation, how to get off those tablets and interface with another child, how to get along, how to manage when there's a dispute. They need to learn, how do I solve my problem? And all of this can be done by you letting them go to the playground and standing back and just kind of watching. Just watch, and then when you need to support them, should there be a situation where somebody falls down or somebody pinches someone, then you go behind your child, and my role is come in from the rear and whisper in the ear. So you're coming behind them and saying, uh-oh, what happened? Well, what can we do? Should we ask him to keep his hands down? Getting them to problem solve and use open-ended questions with your child. And again, Lana and I talk a lot about how you really need to be conscious in the moment that you're talking with your child, using open-ended phrases and questions instead of, do you want this? Do you want that? Go here, go there. All of that's very close-ended, and we're talking at our child, not with our child. And we want that child to be able to carry a conversation back and forth. So how do you encourage that?
I think using materials too that you can use with a variety of different things. Play-Doh's a great activity where you can be self-talking as you're doing things too, and modeling the language that you want your child to repeat, but you're doing it in a very naturalistic way. So, I am rolling my Play-Doh. What should I do? Oh, that looks like a cookie. Are you making a cookie? Things that are happening in the moment, that bringing in a lot of different verbs and different things that require a little bit of imagination. That you're using maybe Play-Doh for items like building a bowl. What can we put in a bowl? Well, it's not really a bowl, but you've made one out of Play-Doh. So you're expanding their language in that way.
And that's imaginary play.
Yes.
Which we do like. We like make-believe play because that shows a lot of creativity and helps to develop language. One thing that Lana and I saw today that was kind of neat, we didn't talk about this before, but we have a child in our classroom that doesn't always share a whole lot. He's just learning to acquire some language. And yesterday we had taken a picture of him doing something. He was riding a scooter out on the playground, which is not something he'd ever done before. And so I took some pictures of that and we printed it out. We gave it to him so that he could take it home to show mom and dad. But he was so excited that he came back into the room. He walked up to me. He showed me the picture and Miss A the picture and started trying to tell us and describe and retell what he was doing. And that's probably the most language I've ever heard from this child, and I've had him for 2 years, spontaneously trying to hold a conversation with me. So catch your children in the moment with activities that they're doing. Snap a picture on that tablet, snap a picture on your phone, and then show it to them later and ask them to tell you about what they were doing. And you're going to get a lot of language, a lot of rich language through that. And again, don't say, oh, look, you were riding a bike, you were having fun, because you're talking at them. Just say, tell me about it. What's this? Keep your language very simple.
Yeah, I agree. Yes. You want to keep it nice and short and open-ended so they're able to express themselves without it being very rote.
Well, thank you for joining us. We absolutely have loved having your children in our classroom this year. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely.
We've had a lot of smiles on our faces. Your kids entertain us all day long, and we do appreciate that you let us work with them. It's absolutely a joy to have them come to school at Isaac's Early Childhood School, and we hope you have a great summer.
Awesome.
Bye.